We are in Zipolite, Mexico, a place that we visited quite sometimes. And every single time we are here, you ask us a lot of questions like, is it okay to be naked everywhere? What are the best restaurants? How is the nightlife? And so much more. And in this video, we're gonna answer all of them.
Don't worry, we're not just gonna sit here and talk about Zipolite. We have two reporters on the street right now that know the place like the back of their hand. Nick and Linz, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. We are ready to answer all of your questions.
Excellent. Now, before we get started with your questions, I have a question of my own because I know somebody is a bit sensitive to this. What is not the right way to pronounce Zipolite?
Zipolite. A lot of people call it Zipolite. It is not that difficult. If you come here, just learn how to pronounce it. It's called Zipolite.
So if you want to blend in with the locals, call it Zipolite. Now off to your questions. How long is Zipolite Beach? Well, the official nude beach is pretty much what you can see from all the way over there up to all the way over here. And this is about 1.6 kilometers, which means more or less a mile. And then there was another question whether there are more nude beaches nearby. And this is the only official nude beach in all of Mexico, but there are coves on both sides. On the far end is Playa de Amor, which is also very famous, and it's also known to be a nude beach. And on the other hand, is a bit smaller, is Bahia Camarón, and that's also quite popular to be naked.
Is the beach nude obligatory? No, it is not. Zipolite is just a chill, amazing place where you don't have to do anything, where you don't have to wear anything. You can just come as you please and enjoy this beautiful beach just the way you want it. How many hotels and bars are on the beach?
47. No, I'm kidding. I have absolutely no idea. The whole stretch of beach is all beach bars and hotels. I didn't think anyone ever counted them. And if they did, please let us know in the comments because we don't know. The thing is, there are just many beach bars, and some are clothing optional and others are not. Great. We're moving on to a bit more practical questions. What is the best time to visit Zipolite, and is there a time when you should not come here? Well, it never gets cold in Zipolite. The temperatures are always between 28 degrees Celsius and 33 degrees Celsius, more or less, all year round. The only thing Zipolite has is two seasons. One is the dry season, the other one is the rainy season. A rainy season is roughly from May all the way to October. And then somebody else also asked about the crowd sizes. As you can see, this beach is not very crowded these days. It's because it's still low season. We are filming this at the end of October, just before the very high season, which starts in November. Then the crowds get a lot more, the hotel prices go up. And of course, there's also the Naked Festival in January, February. And then this place runs completely full. The beach is full, all the bars and restaurants are full, the hotels are full. It's fun to come, it's fun to see, but it's packed. And then we got a number of questions about how to get here, and I guess that this is something we can answer. So there are two airports nearby, both are about an hour away. One is Puerto Escondido and the other one is Huatulco. They are both kind of national airports, but in the high season, Huatulco has connections to Dallas, Toronto, Vancouver, and Calgary.
The easiest way to get from either airport to Zipolite is by taxi. A taxi ride costs between $50 and $75 US. You can also rent a car if you prefer that, but to be honest, you don't really need a car here in Zipolite because everything is walkable. There's also a network of colectivos, which are big open trucks, and they bring people from A to B. It's a very economical solution, but it's also a slow solution.
The next question is, how is the phone reception in Zipolite?
No, that didn't come true. Can you repeat the question, please? How is the phone reception in Zipolite? Oh, the internet is down. Let me quickly change to Holafly. Hi, can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Oh, yes, so much better. Yes. Thank you, Holafly. So, to answer the question, yes, you can have a great reception here.
We live in a connected world and we use the internet all the time for Google Maps, to find hotels and restaurants, to order Ubers, or to use a translation app in countries where we don't speak the language. And all of this has become super easy thanks to Holafly. Holafly is an eSIM provider, and eSIMs are like regular SIM cards except that they are digital. You just go to the Holafly website, pick your destination and how many days you're staying, and Holafly will provide you with a QR code that automatically installs the eSIM. You can already do this before you travel, so you're immediately connected the moment you arrive. Holafly will always give us the best connection possible, and thanks to their unlimited data plans, we can also use it on our other devices through Hotspot.
Holafly exists for around 200 destinations, and you can even choose for regions and continents if you're traveling around. If you want to try Holafly, you can use our discount code NakedWanderings and get a 5% off. Thank you Holafly for providing such an awesome service and for sponsoring this video. Now back to the questions, and somebody had some questions about nude resort, and specifically if you can stay in a nude resort under $15 US.
If you had asked us this question 5 years ago, there were a couple of places that we could recommend that had rooms under $15. But today, it's not like that anymore. Zipolite became much more expensive. The more economical places will be around $20, $25, $30. But there's one place I still think you can stay under $15. As far as I know, this is probably the only place in Zipolite where you can still sleep for under $15, but you will either have to bring a tent or a hammock, because these are all camping spots, and yep, camping is cheaper than $15. It used to be cheaper. I used to know the prices a couple of years ago. Now I'm not sure anymore, but I guess it's still within the $15 price range.
How many nude resorts are there in Zipolite?
With new places appearing quite regularly and places changing owners, it's very hard to say exactly how many nude resorts there are in Zipolite, and even this number could change tomorrow or the day after. But in our experience, there are at least 10 clothing optional places. And talking about clothing optional, somebody else asked if all the resorts are nude obligatory. They are not. Most places follow the rules, the vibe of the beach, and they're all clothing optional. You can wear whatever you want or not wear whatever you want. Except for the place behind me. Casa Nudista is the only place that we are aware of that is nude obligatory. And then there were some questions from people who have obviously been following this channel for a while, because they ask about this specific place, Casablanca Guest House. This is where we are always staying. And one of the questions was whether the cove below Casablanca is also clothing optional. Well, this cove is called Bahia Cabaron, and we mentioned it earlier in the video. It is clothing optional.
Another one is whether it's quiet here at night, and it is. It is very quiet. Zipolite can be busy and noisy during high season, but because Casablanca is behind the hill, it's super quiet. And the only thing that you will hear at night are the waves. Someone also asked whether Casablanca has parking space, and I will show you. Like you can see, parking space.
The next question is a very important one. Where are you allowed to be naked in Zipolite?
The beach, 100% clothing optional. Some restaurants, some bars, but what I really want to point out is please show some respect if you are walking in town. Zipolite is nothing like Cap d'Agde or Vera Playa or Charco del Palo. This is a very small little village in Mexico. So if you are walking here in the main street or in the streets next to Main Street, please cover up, please show respect. A bit of a strange question is whether it's all owned by Canadians.
Well, Zipolite is obviously not Canadian owned, but Casablanca Guest House is, as well as several other places in town. They even have a poutine place here.
And if you don't know what poutine is, just come to Zipo and try it.
Or go to Canada.
Or go to Canada.
It is a fact that this place is very popular among Canadians, but people from all around the world are visiting Zipolite. And if you think that there may be too many Canadians, make sure to tell them, and I'm sure that they will apologize.
What is the best part of Zipolite?
Well, the best part obviously depends on what you are looking for. The part where we are now is called the Adoquin. It's the main street, and this is where most of the bars and the restaurants are. This is also the most busy part in the evening. The street gets full with street vendors and people walking around. It gets really busy. So if you like that, this is the best place to be. If you want it more quiet, the end of the beach is a good place because fewer people stay there, or of course across the hill towards Casablanca where we are staying. And then there's another part past the main street where the places are more in the mountains, in the hills, and those are quite quiet too. So whatever you're looking for, there you can find a certain comfort here, sound-wise, noise-wise.
Even gym-wise, if that is your comfort zone, Zipolite has a gym.
Look at that, Zipolite even has a gym. Now, we're not really gym people, but we are food people, and someone asked about our favorite restaurants in town.
I thought I had more time. Well, that is a long list. Let's start with this place, a nice place on the beach. The beer, oh my God, yeah, that was... So, the beers are cheap and ice cold. The food is delicious. For breakfast, I would definitely recommend Orale for their baguettes, the Castellet because their crepes are amazing. If you want more Mexican, I would definitely suggest Los Almendros and San Cristobal. And for dinner, you have a lot of options. We personally like sal y pimienta, Zuba, what else? Am I forgetting places?
El Mare.
El Mare. El Mare is really, really good. It's an Italian restaurant. They have amazing fish in the white wine. But just try all of them.
13 de diciembre.
13 de diciembre, because you can have pizza there naked. That's a nude restaurant.
Baco.
Again, just come, try all of them. Try all of them and let us know what your favorite is.
Lots of places to enjoy great food, that is sure. So, how expensive is Zipolite? Zipolite is not as cheap as it used to be. The first time we came here, it was very hard to spend $100 in a week or so. Now things became a bit more expensive. To give you some indication, like a beer on the beach, you will get one for $2 or $3. Cocktails will be $4, $5, $6. A decent meal can be had for probably around $10, maybe $15 if you go for expensive food. So yeah, it's not really that expensive compared to the United States or to Europe, but it's much more expensive than it used to be.
And what about safety? Someone asked, is Mexico safe?
Asking if Mexico is safe is a bit like asking what the weather is like in America. It's such a big place that differs so much from different areas that it's very hard to say. There are places in Mexico where I would never go to because they are unsafe. There are places in Mexico where I would never walk around at night or after dark because it's not safe. But Zipolite is neither of those. Of course, you have to be careful, just like anywhere else where you go on holiday. But this place is not known for its high crime rates. On the contrary, it's probably one of the more safer places of Mexico to come to. But of course, always be careful. Don't leave your belongings somewhere far away from you, and keep a bit an eye out of where you're going.
In fact, I think that the ocean is the most dangerous part in Zipolite. The waves are huge and the undertow, the undercurrent is very, very strong. A lot of people have drowned here, unfortunately, in Zipolite. There are lifeguards, but still, we all recommend you to be very, very careful. And for the females watching, I just want to point out, being on the beach naked by myself, I did it a couple of times already, and I feel super, super, super safe, super comfortable. So if you ask me personally, I would say yes. And the next question is about shopping, whether you can shop in quantities. You can find basically everything you need in Zipolite. Well, everything you need to survive. You can find food, you can find groceries, you can find drinks, you can find some clothing, some souvenirs, but there are no big supermarkets here. So all the shops are very small, very local. So just shop at your local store, shop here in the very small ones because you're supporting the community.
And what about partying? Are there any nightclubs in town? Zipolite is not particularly famous for its nightlife, but that doesn't mean that not much is going on. There's lots of day drinking happening, and during high season there are also quite a lot of parties all around town, and there are a couple of bars that are known for their parties. Zanate is a party all-night place, probably not every night, but most nights. So if you like to party until sunrise, this is probably the place to be. So if you want to party all day and all night in big clubs with lots of people, Zipolite may not be the right place for you. But there is definitely some parties going on. And somebody also asked about the gay scene in Zipolite. Well, this town is very famous among the rainbow community. There are lots of bars that have flags. There's lots of gay people coming to this place. So yeah, there's definitely a lot going on.
That's the power of Zipolite. Zipolite is magical, and it's a place for everybody where everyone can feel safe and comfortable. Next is a very good question. Has Zipolite changed over the years, and do you think it will remain a nude beach?
We've already been to Zipolite 5 times, and every time we come here, the place has changed. And it's mostly in construction. Everywhere they are building new hotels, new houses. So from that point of view, the town is changing a lot. It is growing. There are more and more tourists coming here. More and more people come here to retire. And it is getting more expensive, and that's one of the downsides. Is it gonna stay a nude beach? We like to think that it will, because all the tourism here is centered around the nude beach. That's what made Zipolite so famous. And if they would take away the nude beach, this town would just be another beach down in Mexico where there are already millions of. So we very much think that this is always going to be a nude beach. Even though Zipolite is definitely changing, there's still a great vibe, and we hope that it will remain like this for a long time to come. And we are looking towards the end of our list of questions. The last one is whether there is a website with more information about places to stay and places to eat in Zipolite.
Yes, there is. Check out zipolite-mexico.com, where you found a lot of information about Zipolite, about places to stay, eat and drink, about the Nudist Festival, and lots more. If you still have questions that we haven't answered in this video, you'll probably find the answers on the website. And if not, just ask us in the comments of this video.
This video has been quite different than our previous ones, so let us know if you like this format or if you just enjoy our regular vlogs more. And our next video is also going to be something we've never done before, but it's a video we have been wanting to make for a very, very long time. But that is for next time, so if you don't want to miss this.
And you really, really don't want to miss this. So make sure you subscribe, put on your notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and we just see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
You have bars that are clothing optional and hotels, but
It is a fact that this place is very popular among Canadians. What is the best time to visit? We've already been to Zipolite's Salt and Pepper, which has great food and excellent cocktails. There's... What else?